Buddha.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. How's everybody's day going? How's everybody's week going? It is pre-Friday. It is one day before Friday. So it's been a short week for a lot of you, I know, with Labor Day. So hopefully it's been a good week. One less day at work, one less day at school. So it's hopefully you're all having a good week, having a good day. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you all hit that like, hit that subscribe, share this channel out with everyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit those heart emojis down there at the bottom. It does really help out with the channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, folks. 1,000. So we are, I believe it's like 90 away from the 1,000. So if there's 90 of you that are out there and are watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button, join in on the conversation. If you're watching this on X, hit that subscribe button and join in. Join the Strike Zone crew. I would greatly appreciate it. Got a lot to talk about. And, I'll say what's up to the chat here. Let's see who we got this morning. We got John the Beagle Dad. How's it going? What's going on? Ken, what's up, Ken? Pasty, what's up? Egyptian, what's going on? Egyptian, what's going on? Dev Finch, what is going on? We got my guy Izzy in the building. What's up, Izzy? Good morning to you. Stephen B, what's up, man? You're in a dead spot. You're good, man. You're good. And we got my boy Gusto, as always. Says like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. Much appreciated. Hit those emojis. What's up, Christopher? How's it going? Mr. Barros, how are you, Mr. Barros? What's going on? Nosebleed, what's up? How's it going? But shout out to everybody in the chat. So, real quick before we start talking, today's the first day of NFL season. Week 1 officially begins today. I just got my coffee mug here, just trying to represent. For those of you that are football fans, good luck to your team. Hopefully your team does well. But let me take a quick sip. But, for all my football fans out there, just wanted to say happy NFL season. Hopefully you're all happy. I'm sure some of you are probably looking forward to football season because of how poorly the Yankees have been playing. And we're going to talk about that. All right. Jonathan, what's up? Good morning, bro. How are you, man? But, the Yankees, once again, lose another series. It's their third straight series loss, right? You were hoping that they would have won this series. They could have won it, actually. They could have won it on Wednesday, but we all saw what happened with that with that game. That was an absolute disaster. It was a debacle. I mean, couldn't believe that actually went down the way it did. But it seems to be the story. Right. It seems to be the story. Last night, they lost the game 10-6. They were down 10-2 at one point. Bottom of the ninth, it did get a little interesting towards the end there. Trent Grisham hitting a grand slam. Like, who would have thought? All of a sudden the game is 10-6. Yankees are rallying back or trying to rally back. And still ended up losing. I mean, it was a bad game all around. There are concerns with this team. All right, there are concerns with this team. Marcus Stroman last night, gave up 5 earned runs, 9 hits, walked 1, struck out 3. All right, the last time he gave up that many runs was on August 2nd, and he gave up 7. In the first inning this season, his ERA is over 5. All right, his ERA is over 5. It's those are not great numbers, obviously. The Yankees in their last 8 games, they are 2-6. They're still trailing the Orioles by a half a game. I mean, lucky for the Yankees. the Orioles lost against the White Sox yesterday, which was, I guess it's a shocker, but at the same time, it's not a shocker. But we're still half a game behind them. And I'll say it again: Yankees had opportunities to execute in the month of August. Clearly didn't happen. They blew it big time, and September so far not off to a great start. They have a day off today, so hopefully everybody's blood pressure is going to be calm today with no game today, right? So no game today. They start their series against the Chicago Cubs tomorrow. And, again, you're hoping that they can take the series against Chicago. I mean, they can't really afford to lose any more series. At this point, it's, we are, 22 games left. They got to win as many series as possible. Can they? I mean, the way it's looking, I'm going to say no. The way it's looking, the way they've been playing, their bullpen is a wreck, right? Their bullpen in the last 4 games, it's 12.27 ERA. So the bullpen is bad. The bullpen is bad. Last night's game, they were 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They left eight runners on base. So, there's issues with this team. All right. The bullpen is a big issue. It's not just Clay Holmes, and I'm not excusing Clay Holmes, but there is an issue with this bullpen. Some of these guys in the bullpen, it's just not working out. It's not working out, unfortunately. When the reinforcements come back, are these guys going to help? I don't know. I'm not as optimistic as I was. I'm not going to lie. I hope I'm proven wrong. I really do. I'm proven wrong. But as far as reinforcements, speaking of reinforcements, I mean, good news is they're getting Clark Schmidt and Marcus Stroman back. I mean, yeah, they're starters, but it's something. It's something to help this rotation out, right? Hill was missing in the last couple of weeks. Schmidt's been missing in the last few months. So, those are some good guys to have back. Hopefully they can help the rotation, but the bullpen is the main concern. I need to know, I want to know if, Ian Hamilton's going to be back sooner rather than later. Is he going to be effective? Is Nick Burdi going to be effective? Is Lou Trevino going to be effective? I mean, are these guys going to be of any help in the bullpen? I don't know. Are they gonna help this bullpen succeed? I'm not sure. But so far, the bullpen is a concern, and I know I talked about it yesterday in the pregame. Clay Holmes, he can't be the closer, but there isn't anybody I trust in that closer role, and I know. I, was having that discussion with all of you yesterday. I know I had Erica come on for a little bit, and she expressed some of her frustrations, and we were talking about the whole closer situation. And real quick, I wanted to quickly say what's up to Terry. Good morning to you. Yeah, with all the talent in the world, is it the leadership? It could be the leadership. Maybe it's players, burned out. I don't know, Terry. I wish I had the answer. And speaking of Erica, what's up, Erica? How are you? Good morning to you. So do they hustle for their managers? Says all you need to know about their leadership. Well, these players are also making millions to play the game. So yeah, you need some motivation from your coach and from your coach as your manager, but these guys are also big boys too, and should be able to play the game the way they're supposed to. They're getting paid to, all right. And it's money that none of us may ever see, But there are, it's not just the players, right? I'm not putting this on the players. There is some decision making that's also questionable too, on the management, on the coaching. I'm looking at the whole. I'm looking at this as a whole. I'm looking at the whole team. not just the players, right? I'm not just going to say, the players got to do their jobs, but they do have to do their jobs. Again, they're getting paid to do their jobs. But, is it the management, or, the way I see it too, is it that other teams are making their adjustments and they're not, are other teams making their adjustments and are figuring out the Yankees? Because the Yankees could be making their adjustments. Maybe it's not enough. I'm just trying to look at it from the other side. I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just trying to think of other scenarios, other reasons. We got Mac Miles in the building. So he's played well. That's what I'm saying. They make a lot of money. So, they make tons of money. Got to perform better. David, what's up, man? How's it going, David? Shout out to you. Good morning. Hello, D's channel. I'm doing well. Yeah, it's a good thing I couldn't call last night's game either. It's good. It's a good thing something came up last night. So, yeah, probably a good thing I didn't call last night's game, because that was horrid, dreadful, And player management needs to motivate their players. This is Little League 101 stuff. Well, leadership, management, again, there needs to be some effort from the players too. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. Yeah. What up, Uncle Tats? What's going on, man? Good morning to you, bro. Well, last night's game was not convincing if they're a World Series contending team. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think it's certain that they'll make the playoffs, but how far they're going to go, as of right now, the way things are looking, I'm not hopeful. I'm not hopeful. What's Erica saying here? This team has shown complaints to see year over year and allows for these stretches to be excused because of bad luck and turning the corner. It's a mindset. There is zero grit because of that. Yeah. Well, that's sad. That's sad. And make sure you all subscribe real quick to Pinstripe Chronicles podcast. Make sure y'all check out Pinstripe Chronicles podcast. They are on the road. They are on the road to 800 subscribers, folks. And on this channel, as I said in the earlier, we're on the road to 1,000. So for anybody that is not subscribed, make sure you all hit that subscribe button. What's up, Demon D? I'm just catching up with the chat real quick. What's Mr. Barrows saying? He says, NFE, I enjoy your show, my son's show, and conversating with everyone in the chat, but this Yankees team is definitely due for a change. It's been 7 years with Boone, and he definitely isn't the answer. Listen, I had a take on one of Jason's live streams from 161, and I'm not saying this is the case, but I could see it happening. If this team does not go to the World or win the World Series, I'd say Boone is gone. I know Boone has an option for 2025, but I think Boone is gone. I said it, and I'm gonna still stick by that. So, this team's players are playing with no heart. Everyone can complain about Boone, but he isn't the one on the bump taking the team out of the game in the first. Yeah, well, players got to perform, right? Players got to perform. They get paid to do so. And they get paid a lot, maybe too much, but they get those contracts for a reason. Expectations, right? Expectations. Brought it over the years, but the bottom feeder. Yeah, and that was always the Yankees' strong position, strong. What am I trying to say? One of their strengths of this team was always their bullpen, right? Historically, they've always had a good bullpen. This season's not the case. The bullpen was great in the beginning of the season, but then injuries started piling on, and then these guys were getting overused. They were getting burnt out, and I think this bullpen is burnt out. I mean, they tried getting fresh arms and getting guys that were DFA'd and picking them up on waivers, but you could only do that for so long. You could only do that for so long. You can't rely on that forever, right? So, again, with the reinforcements coming back, with the bullpen arms coming back, are these guys going to make a difference? Are these guys going to help the bullpen? Are they going to pitch better? I don't know. It still remains to be seen. CT Cards, what's going on? Good morning to you. What is going on? And we got Jared in the building. Let's go. Nah, you're good, CT. You're good, CT. You do what you got to do, man. Yeah, I mean, it always looks that way, right? When a team is in a slump, it's almost like they gave up, and it's almost like they don't want to be out there playing. But again, if you don't want them, I mean, if they're trying to win, they got to go out and perform. They got to go out and play. After thinking long and hard, I've come to the decision that a change is needed. What kind of change are you talking about there, man? Really not putting all my eggs in the basket. I felt that they were really good in the beginning of the season. They had a likely chance, but since they have fallen off and haven't recovered, yeah, I mean, they started off hot. I mean, they started off the season hot. There's no question, but they have been cold. They have been cold, and they've been cold for quite some time now. So Nosebleed section says time to send Grisham down, sit Verdugo next to DJ, bring up Dominguez. And Dominguez is probably going to get brought up at some point. I don't know when, but at some point. What do we got here? Mr. Barros is saying, I've been also not in favor of the millions they make. I still believe they should set a amount of money, and the more they perform, the more money they get. Listen, Mr. Barros, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. But the thing is, that'll never happen. There'll probably be a strike. So the way these baseball contracts are set up, I can't imagine that happening. But again, Trent Grisham getting that grand slam last night, though, I must say that was wild. And we got Bernie Williams in the chat. What's up, Bernie? Cool. You're going to be on Hector's Live on the 23rd. Okay. Well, that'll be a lot of fun. Cool, man. I'm just laughing at some of the comments. Should Matt Blake be fired? He's in charge of the bullpen operate. I mean, he's the pitching coach. He's not just in charge of the bullpen. He's in charge of the entire pitching staff. I mean, I don't think he should be fired. He does the best that he can with what he's given. He's a better pitching coach than the last one of the Yankees had. I remember when the Yankees had Larry Rothschild, and I couldn't stand that guy. So, I don't know if Matt Blake should be fired. I think Matt Blake, he actually as a pitching coach, he's done a good job with whatever pitchers that the Yankees got, especially with the bullpen arms. But he's not perfect, right? He's not. There's only so much he can do. I mean, I'm still a Matt Blake fan personally, but only so much he can do. Some pitchers, when they're bad, they're bad. That's it. When they're bad, they're bad. Knight takes all the pressure off him to just play and not have pressure off driving in people. Listen, I'm all for Dominguez. Okay, listen, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right now. I want Jason Dominguez up here just as much as the next person. Okay, I like Dominguez. I think he is, he could contribute something to this team, but he doesn't. He unfortunately does not address all the holes that this team has that fans are talking about, because fans, you hear it all the time. The Yankees have multiple holes. The Yankees have multiple holes, and Dominguez is only one player. He's not going to be able to address all the holes. He'll be a contributor. He'll be. I say he will be a star with this team. All right, I'll make that prediction. I think he will be a contributor to this team. I think he'll be great for this team, but it's going to take more than Dominguez to help this team succeed. Okay, just like how it can't. We all say it can't be just Aaron Judge and Juan Soto. It's not just Jason Dominguez or Jason Dominguez, just the way he says it. All right, it's a team effort. It takes a village. All right. Ken saying here, interesting about the outcry for Dominguez. I'm not sure how he affects the crappy pitching. Exactly. Kind of what I was just addressing right now. How Drew Ellis is. It may be time to adopt the Diamondbacks model. Speed kills. Yeah. They need some guys on bait that can run. And yeah, exactly. They're Tats. I mean, Matt Blake got dealt a crap hand when. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do with DFA guys. I mean, Matt Blake does the best that he can. I mean, he's done great with some of these guys. You see these guys that come to the Yankees, or the Yankees pick up or sign or trade for, and all of a sudden, you don't know who these guys are. They have like high ERAs, and Matt Blake just turns them into fantastic pitchers. And but you can only do that for so long. Yeah, they were saying something about Nestor Cortez going back to the bullpen. I don't think it's permanent, but I think for this particular series that they have coming up against the Cubs, I think that's what's going to be happening. Yeah, Oswaldo Cabrera is not a great outfielder. Great infielder. I don't think his outfield skill is not as good. Not as good. I do agree with that. The whole team's chemistry and morale is just low at the moment. We need a spark to get us going. Yeah, well, Judge himself, Mr. Barros, is in a big slump himself, man. Aaron Judge is in a big slump himself. And so is Juan Soto. Both of these guys have been slumping as of late. They haven't really been as effective as they needed to be. Hopefully these guys show some sort of life when as the season comes to an end. Hopefully they show some life, just to know that they're there. We know he's going to change the pitching, but may change the attitude of the team. He might. They could still go into these games with a good attitude, but they got the results matter though. They have to go out there and perform, right? He could change the attitude of the team. That's possible, but these guys need to go out and still win games, right? They need to go out and perform. And again, Jason Dominguez is only one guy. Again, he'll be a contributor to this team. I think there's definitely a future for him. There's a lot of pressure on him, though. I haven't seen this much pressure on a Yankees prospect in quite some time. But there's a lot of pressure on him. But he doesn't address the bullpen issue. There's a lot of problems with the bullpen. Yeah, Volpe, Chisholm, Ellis, Birdie. Yeah, these guys could manufacture running. Absolutely, man. You're not wrong there. They just need to, get on base and start utilizing their speed and the Yankees coaching staff, the manager, they need to get these guys to start stealing base and start being a threat on the bases. They really need that. Hill might be the one since he has high innings. He could be, but I like I said, I think I read somewhere that Nestor was going to be moved to the bullpen. And I don't know if that's permanent, but where you're coming from, Ken, but I'd just rather have a player that is hitting than slumping and that doesn't drop to first. What are we talking about here, D's channel? Yeah, D's channel, he should be starting. So let me pull up the schedule here. Because both Luis Hill and Clark Schmidt should be starting in this Cubs series. So well, Verdugo, sure, yeah, he's not helping, but right now the whole team is playing poorly. Again, especially with the bullpen. Yeah, so Luis Hill is supposed to be pitching tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we have Clark Schmidt. He's pitching on Saturday. And then Sunday is Garrett Cole. And he's actually pitching against Tyone. So that should be an interesting matchup. Hill only needs to pitch one inning. Closer doesn't need to nibble and just throw strikes. I'm not sure about Hill as a closer though. I'm not for it personally. I'm not for Luis Hill to close. I don't know who should be the closer. I like I said in yesterday's stream, I don't know who should be the closer on this team. There's really not anybody in that bullpen that I trust. A lot of people are voicing the same thing there, Stephen A. Smith. Move Nestor to the pen and give him a breather and see Hill can pick up where they left off and make a decision. Uncle Tats, I wouldn't be opposed to that idea. That's not a bad idea. Was already moved to, well, whether he likes it or not, I mean, got to accept it, right? So, yeah, I know Volpe and Chisholm when they're in the lineup back to back, and if they're both on base, they are a serious threat. I like it. Yeah, Hill is more of a starter. Well, Hill and Holt, yeah, but nosebleed. Listen, and I get it. I get it. If you feel that way, cool. I get it. My thing, right? And if anybody, everybody else can chime in, of course. Hill has some wild pitches himself. Maybe not as wild as Holmes, but he can. His pitches can kind of be off the strike zone. It could be a little all over the place. So he has his moments too. Not as bad as Clay Holmes, but he has his moments. And he just like Clay Holmes, he does walk batters. He does. I don't know about Hill in a closer role. I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on Holmes. Okay. I'm not sold on Holmes, but I'm not sold on Hill. Used to sit for a day or two. I'd rather. Oh, okay. Yeah, D's. I got you, D's channel. I got you. I'm not. Listen, I'm. Again, Oswaldo Cabrera is not a great outfielder, but I understand what you're saying. I get it. Stop worrying about feelings. He works for the Yankees, not the other way around. Nestor should feel lucky. He's still not. Well, that's exactly. After all, it is a business. You're on the team. You're getting paid. You do what you got to do. Exactly. Yeah, but he walks a lot of pitchers on 4 pitches. Right. Exactly. That's the problem. He has great stuff, but He does walk a lot of hitters, and that's not something you want out of your closer, right? You don't want that out of your closer. So again, who do you put as your closer? There's not really anybody I trust as a closer. Yeah, Cousins could be the answer. That was my initial answer. Weaver, I like Weaver where he is right now, Mr. Barros. In my opinion, I like Weaver where he is, but because sometimes, he gets knocked around. All right, sometimes he gets knocked around. He has his moments. Although Weaver's been solid this season, I like Luke Weaver. But I guess if I had to pick somebody, it would probably be Cousins. But the closer role is not easy. I mean, yeah, people, folks want to say, you just come in one inning, you just got to get the 3 outs. But being a closer, there's a lot of pressure there. There's so much pressure there. So with Nibbling, if he's in a bullpen, he can just throw strikes and not worry about length and fooling guys. Yeah, but again, like I was saying, the closer role is not simple. The closer role is not simple. Folks, just a quick little pause. We are just a little over 30 minutes into the live stream. So if you are enjoying this, make sure you all hit that like, hit that subscribe, share this channel out. If you're watching this on X, make sure you come over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, join in on the conversation. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Love to get there by the time the season's over. That would be amazing. I greatly appreciate everybody's support. Without all of you, this channel would not be here. I love doing these streams. I love interacting with all of you. This is like one of my favorite parts of the day, doing the morning live streams, doing the pre-games. I have a lot of fun doing this, and you all are very active in the chat too, which is greatly appreciated, and I thank you. And I will put the link out to the open panel momentarily, so you all the drill. I invite you all up one at a time, and give your take. And then if there's anybody waiting in the back, I'll invite them up, and then we'll keep the show rolling. Okay, we'll keep the show rolling. So, I'm gonna probably try and go for like another hour because I want to try and end this in an hour. And go from there. So, greatly appreciate you all, as always. But, I mean, if I know Tats is hanging out, so, I mean, if Tats wants to come on, he's got access. He's definitely got access. But, again, Cousins has had issues lately. Hill might have the stones for the night, but if Hill is not the you're talking about Tim Hill. Okay. Yeah. Again, you take your pick, right now. I mean, I would say with this whole closer role thing, it's got to be closer by committee at this point. It's got to be situational. If the Yankees are up by 1 run and they're trying to close out the game, they got to figure out who's the best option for that, because it's certainly not Clay Holmes. If you're going to put Clay Holmes to close out a game, I mean, they got to be up by like 4 or 5 runs. And VR, thank you, my guy. I appreciate you. I did subscribe to your channel, folks. If you can, please, and VR, go ahead and drop your link, man, if you don't mind. Go and support this channel. He's a good friend of Jigga's. He's always on the Positivity Show over there. So make sure you all subscribe to Positivity Porto. Make sure you all subscribe to the 411 on NY Sports. VR is a cool dude, so let's also give our support to VR. So shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. Ronnie, what's up, Ronnie? Good morning to you. Hopefully you're okay. Hopefully you're feeling better, man. Let me know how you're doing. But like I said, if you're putting Clay Holmes, this team has to be up like 4 or 5 runs, 6 runs. Desiree, good morning to you. Appreciate you. How are you? That's the only time you put in Clay Holmes, or else in a 1-run situation, yeah, you got to there's other options that you got to consider. So at this point, like I said, it's a closer by committee. You know, you can't depend on Clay Holmes. You know, he's just not the answer, especially in one run situations. Again, if you put him in, you got to put him in. You know, 5-6 runs if they're up 5 or 6 runs. So Cole is not injured. He had a cramp in his calf, but he's fine. He's pitching on Sunday there, Chris. Let's see what's Erica saying here. Same issues we've had since June. This is the team. Nothing's going to change. They will lose in the playoffs the way they found ways to lose in regular games. Nobody acts surprised when it does. I'll make sure I'm sitting down for that. Yeah, well, I know a lot of people are happy with football season being here, so at least you all get to kind of tune in to some football games and forget about the Yankees. What's VR asking here? He said thoughts on Aaron Boone, and if this is the beginning of the end, I am not a fan anymore. I understand. I said earlier that if this team doesn't win a World Series, I see Aaron Boone gone. I see Aaron Boone gone. I don't think Aaron Boone will be on this team come next season. That's my prediction. I think this is going to the 2025 Yankees are going to look different. That's my prediction. How different, I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what they do in the offseason, depending on how everything plays out. Yeah, well, I'm a Giants fan too, and yes, they are going to suck. So I share your pain. I do agree. I do agree. But yeah, I mean, one thing's for sure. One thing's for sure. I'm not a fair weather fan. I'm going to cheer for this team when they win or when they lose. Like, I'm still a fan of this team. But we're all allowed to be disappointed and not happy with how this team is playing. But we'll see what happens. What's Demon D saying here? Saying fake Yankee fans always crying. If you're saying the Yankees are going to lose, you're not a real Yankee fan, just a fake Yankee fan that always wants to join the bandwagon when we were winning. I mean, I don't know who you're referring to. I just, I want this team to win. I want this team to win. I want this team to succeed. I still cheer for this team even when they're losing. I just get, I just get disappointed. I just get disappointed for how they perform. And the way this team is playing right now, it's not giving me hope. I hope they can prove me wrong, Demon D. But yeah, I'm definitely not one of those fans that says, "Oh yeah, I'm not a fan anymore. I'm not going to watch this team anymore," because that's not the case. I'm still going to continue watching this team. I paid Jigga nothing, and all my picks there, Ronnie, were all auto draft because I couldn't. I had something going on last night, so I couldn't really take the time to draft players. So everything that was drafted, it was all auto. It was on auto. So trust me, that team would have looked a little different if I was truly participating. Yeah, I mean, John, I don't see it happening right now. If they did that right now, I'd be shocked. But I think they will. I think if they're going to do it, they'll probably do it in the off season. Prediction on if the Yankees re-sign Juan Soto next season, is he too expensive for us? I mean, he's going to be expensive either way. How expensive, I don't know. But 50 million. I mean, I see him getting 50 million, maybe a little bit more. That contract is going to be a fat one. I don't know how big of a contract it's going to be, but it's going to be a big contract. So sad Boone getting all the blame. I mean, I've said it many times. I don't think Boone is a great manager. I think he's a good manager. His playoff resume is not great. I don't always agree with his decisions. You know, I don't think he's the best. I don't think he's the worst. There's worse managers out there. But I don't. Again, if this team doesn't win a World Series, I see him gone. I see him gone. Well, I mean, you can't put the whole thing on him, right? You can't put the whole thing on him. What's up, Patrick? He's saying Mets sent Diaz a single A, benched McNeil for a week straight, released Jorge Lopez. Yankees, they singled out Gleyber and no balls for anyone else. Well, yeah, I'm not changing. I'm not one for changing managers during the season, but reality is Boone's decisions have cost us. I also think Cashman needs to be promoted and bring up a new GM. Roster construction is poor at spots. Yeah, I don't know. If you fire the manager now, are the results going to change? I don't know. That's the question. Credit for playing Soto every day while everyone else on the team gets rest days. Yeah, we could give him credit for that. There's not a single manager that I agree that makes that I agree with their decisions there, Ken. Not one. Oh, that Jazz Chisholm trade was fantastic. They do make this is what I'm saying. They make millions. They make millions. I mean, there are expectations. If you're getting paid a lot of money, there's also expectations on the players to go out there and perform. And Damian Serrano, my guy, what's up, bro? How are you? How are you, man? How's your morning? But yeah, well, no, Jazz has good energy. I don't think he'll fall for that. At least I hope he doesn't fall to being lazy. But yeah, it can be it could be contagious. It could be contagious. So, but yeah, Jared, you're asking if anyone's concerned about Judge. I'm definitely concerned about Judge. A little bit. I think he's somewhat experiencing what he did in the beginning of the season, and then he picked it up. I think Judge is going to be fine. Soto's in a little bit of a slump, but I think he'll come around too. Those two guys have been in a slump. There's no denying that, but I don't think there's anything to truly panic about when it comes to those two guys. That's my take on it. And real quick, folks, I just got a notification saying that the Yankees optioned Scott Effross to AAA Scranton. So there you go. Following Wednesday's game, the Yankees optioned right-handed pitcher Scott Effross to AAA Scranton. So they brought him up. He pitched in Sunday's game against the Cardinals, and not a great outing, but he has been optioned back to AAA. So, there's going to be a roster move for sure. Yeah, Pasty, I don't know. He was dealing, but the Yankees decided to send him back down. Maybe to make make room for, Luis Hill or Clark Schmidt. And real quick, shout out to Ronnie for gifting a Strike Zone membership. Ronnie, you're the man, bro. If you are in the chat and you got a membership from Rodney, make sure you thank him. Rodney, you rock, bro. You rock. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Scott Efros got optioned. And then Ken coming through with a Strike Zone membership. Shout out to Ken. Thank you so much, gentlemen. You guys are awesome. This is why you guys are great, man. You guys are the OGs. You guys are the OGs. Thank you so much. Yeah, 2 people are going down on or DFA. So, Hill comes back Friday and Schmidt going back Saturday. Coming back, yeah. So Hill is probably going to – obviously, he pitches tomorrow. Hey, man, it's a respecting, all right? I'm not trying to insult nobody's age. I wouldn't do that, Rodney. You know me better than that. I'm not going to do that to anybody. But real quick, folks, I'm going to do this right now because I'm only trying to rock out for like another 45. I am going to put the link out to the open panel. There's the link right there. So for anybody who wants to come on up and we'll chat it up. Yeah, I don't let anybody use my couch. This ain't just old folks. I don't let anybody use my couch. Unless it's family members or something. Then, yeah, I don't really have a choice in that matter. But cool. Let me get Ken up here. You ready to go, man? All right, cool. He gave me the thumbs up. What's up, Ken? How's it going?
Hey, first of all, aren't we the Strike Zone family?
Yeah.
Doesn't that entitle us to use of the couch?
Y'all ain't blood related, though.
You didn't say jack about blood. You said family. Strike Zone family.
I'm talking family.
just jokes there to lighten the mood.
I know. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Tell me, we sent Efros down. How the hell did Mesa survive that?
Your guess is just as good as mine there, Ken.
That guy is straight garbage. He hasn't pitched worth a damn. And we DFA'd Michael Tonkin and kept him. Phil Bickford?
Yeah.
Why the hell is he still on the roster?
Mesa? Bickford? Yeah, I mean, I don't think has Bickford even pitched in a game at all? I mean,
yes, he has pitched, and I don't think he was very good either.
No, unfortunately.
He was warming up yesterday, I know that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Last night's game, Big G got robbed.
Yeah, he did.
I was in the coming back from bowling, I was in the Max Coverage TV play-by-play, and I called a Grish bomb, and that at bat he hit it out of the park, and then I called the G bomb, and I thought I'd gotten 2 in 1 inning.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah, that grand slam was still crazy. I was like amazed by that grand slam.
I'll tell you what, when Ellis stole the base, I mean, the guy looks like a freaking 175-pound beanpole, but I didn't think he was that fast. That dude is quick.
Yeah.
Plus, he got his first major league hit yesterday, so congratulations to Drew Ellis on that one.
Yeah, to Duke Ellis. Yeah, Duke Ellis. Yeah,
or Duke Ellis. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, no, he was definitely solid. So, I mean, solid in the sense that, yeah, he got his first hit, stole a base. I mean,
played some outfield.
What was that?
Played some outfield.
Played some outfield. You know, he was doing the best that he can, right? But you know, they made it interesting last night in the bottom of the ninth. But boy, did I wish they did that earlier in the game. I was like, are these guys about to make like one of the best comebacks in baseball history? Because, they were down 10-2. Grisham hits a grand slam. I'm like, what is going on here? Now all of a sudden, it's a 4-run. It's a 4-run game. Giancarlo, if he hit that 3-run shot, it would have been a 1-run game. Like,
yep, it would have been 10-9.
What's up, Yankee Kyle? But at this point, they lost the series. Nothing you could do to change it. Moving forward, I mean, not moving forward, but this month was one of those months. Obviously 22 games left. They can't afford to lose series anymore. They just can't. It's just not possible. I know they're going to lose games, but they can't lose series anymore.
They had the greatest opportunity to put distance between us and the O's over the August run.
Mm-hmm.
And the best we could manage was 14-12 against mediocre teams at best. What do you think is going to happen when we're actually facing real teams like the Orioles, the Red Sox?
So here's the crazy thing. And I know you're aware of the stats. I'm sure you've seen it. And I'm sure everybody else has too. But when the Yankees
are playing against 500 up and above and 500 below,
why is that? Like that shouldn't, like, I don't want to say it should be the opposite, but the Yankees should be, the way they're playing against these teams that are 500 or better, they should be destroying these teams that are sub 500, but they're not. Like, that's the wild thing about this Yankees team. And their home record is bad. They play much better away for God knows why, but
because the recipe has been laid out for whipping the Yankees' ass. Throw left-handed pitchers. It doesn't matter how crappy they are. We can't hit them.
Mm-hmm.
Run against us and throw left-handed pitchers, and it's a done deal. We're what? Like 40% wins against lefties?
If it's that, I wouldn't be surprised if it's less.
Their
record against lefties is terrible.
We faced Corbin, the worst pitcher in Major League Baseball, statistically, and he looked like Cy Young against the Yankees. We faced Andrew Heaney. From our experience with him as a Yankee pitcher, he's garbage, but he kicked our butts too.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at the list, keep going down the list. Bad left-handed pitcher after bad left-handed. J.P. Sears in Oakland. He took us out, and he was one of ours, and he wasn't that great. That's part of why we traded him.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like I got a couple of people waiting in the back. I'll bring them up one by one. So, you guys will just give your takes, and then I'll drop you all down, and then bring on the next person. So, but Jared, you ready to go? Cool. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Jared?
You look a little sleepy there, dude.
A little bit, but I'm good.
Okay. So let me get your thoughts on the series against Texas and how the Yankees have looked as of late. Let me get your thoughts on that.
I have no words. No words to describe the series. First game was good, with the Garrett Cole, even though he had like a cramp or something. But overall, it was good. But game 2, oh my God. This is the part where I completely lost it at the end of game 2.
Say it again.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Game 2, I completely lost it because when Clay Holmes came in that 9th inning down in a 1-run game, I just had a bad feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is not going to end well. And what do you know? He gives up a walk-off grand slam to what's the guy's name? Wyatt Langford.
I believe that's who it was. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the same dude that stole Giancarlo's home run
Yep.
in the
him?
ninth last night. Yeah, same guy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then the third game, I'm thinking, okay, well, we have a chance to take this series now, but Marcus Stroman, he doesn't have it at all.
31 pitches in the first inning. I knew he was done.
Yeah, that's not good. No. And then bullpen was no help at all. Giving up 5 more runs. I think Stroman gave up the 5. And this team decides to come back in the 9th inning, but it was too late. And give up a grand slam to Trent Grisham. Are you kidding me? Even I was mad about that. I was like, you're kidding me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I understand. But what are your expectations going forward? Like, do you have any hope for this team at all going forward, or what are your thoughts before I drop you down?
Well, I would say this though: if Aaron Judge doesn't wake up around this time, and then I have no hope for this team.
So you think it all falls on you? You think it's Aaron Judge? So it's Aaron Judge or bust?
I wouldn't say bust though, but if Judge doesn't wake up, then I don't know what else to say. I'm just hoping that he wakes up at the right time.
So you think if he wakes up, then the rest of the team is gonna fall in line?
I hope so. If that's the case.
Okay, because the reason why I'm asking is because it's mainly been Judge and Soto, but
True.
Ken might agree with me on this, but it's going to take more than those two guys for this team to win games and succeed in the playoffs.
Well, I've said that the whole season.
Right. So, I mean, if Judge has got to wake up, but the whole team's got to wake up. So it's not just a Judge thing. So, and Judge has been in a slump. Don't get me wrong. He definitely needs to come alive. But I think he's just having one of his moments, one of those slumps. Soto is experiencing it too. But this is where if these two guys are experiencing slumps, other players need to step up. That's how it works in on a team.
I agree.
Yep. But at least that's my take on it. Ken, real quick, let me get yours.
Well, bullpen management stinks. The bullpen has cost us a lot of runs since July. Starting pitching isn't looking good either. I don't know. I mean, everyone was looking forward to the guys coming up as the replacement crew, but they haven't gotten it done. And when they've come up, they haven't looked very good. Or when they've gone out, they haven't looked very good. What the fix is, I have no clue. All I know, I've been an avid supporter of Clay Holmes as a closer for the Yankees for a long time. And errors have contributed to his blooming number of blown saves.
Yep.
But one of the key things, my personal experience as a pitcher, if you lose confidence in yourself or your pitches, you're done. And listening to the last few press conferences, I'm going to tell you what, a lot of props and respect to Holmes. He hasn't ducked the press. He's taken it on the chin. He is not giving up any excuses. He just stinks. And he's even admitted openly that he's willing to step aside if there's a better option to close. Not many players in baseball will do it. Another guy who does it on the Yankees that I appreciate is Stanton. You never saw Stanton, even when he was hurt, playing bad throughout the years. He's always taken it on the chin. No excuses.
100%.
The Giants, the Giants DFA'd Taylor Rogers. He was one of the guys that I was pushing to trade for as a left-handed guy. He hasn't been claimed off the waiver wire yet. I don't know if he's made it through, but he's a left-handed pitcher that has closing experience. And he wasn't DFA'd because of performance. He was DFA'd because of salary, and the Giants didn't want to pay out the rest of his salary. Plus, they just re-signed, who's their third baseman? They just re-signed him to a big deal.
Oh, Chapman. Yeah, they just extended him to it was a 6-year deal. It was like $151 million.
Well, he can thank Rogers because part of Rogers' contract is paying for it.
Yeah. So they did extend Matt Chapman. But Jared, I'm gonna drop you down. Let me get, just for the fun of it, what are your, I guess, predictions for this upcoming Cubs series?
Oh boy.
Just real quick. You don't. Yeah.
I mean, I'm very hopeful they could take 2 out of 3 from the Cubs, but the Cubs are hot right now. They've been playing very well as of late. I just want 2 out of 3 from these guys. If there was another series, then I'm gonna be very upset.
Got it.
We can't lose a series in the month of September like this, especially when they're in the playoffs. Because look at them an early exit.
For sure. No, I got you, man. All right, man. Well,
so yeah.
Cool. All right, Jared. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Yeah, just go back to the chat, start interacting, and
okay.
We'll see you next time.
All right. See you, man.
All right. See you, bud. All right. I got Pasty in the back waiting. Pasty, are you ready to go? Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you could hear me and you're ready to go. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Thank you. And VR, I know I saw you in the back. I know you left, but if you wanted to come back on, so let me know, man. I'll put up the link again. What's up, Pasty? How's it going, man?
What's going on, boys?
How's it going?
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on.
Oh
dude.
man, some of these takes.
What takes? Go ahead. I'll let you kind of lead the way.
So, just the Boone bashing. It's crazy to me.
Okay.
I mean, these players make so much money to simply play ball, and they can't do it. I don't see how that's a Boone problem. I just don't. He can only use what Cashman has allowed him to have. That's it.
I think a lot of people's frustration with Boone, just from seeing people's, chats and their reactions is that Boone doesn't motivate these guys and he doesn't hold anybody accountable. And, I'm just saying what fans are saying, that Boone,
right.
Boone doesn't, he doesn't.
I will tell you, my one disappointment with Boone in this series was the second game. Tim Hill had come out. He pitched 4 freaking pitches.
I can agree on that. Yeah, I agree on that.
One batter. The guy is warmed up. He's been very effective for us. Why not walk him out into the ninth?
I mean, I can counter with that Clay Holmes is the closer. That's what his job is to close games.
Granted, with a history of having failed to close games and him admitting in a press conference that same week that he was willing to step aside if the situation required it because he has lost the bubble on some of his pitches.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. When Clay Holmes is good, he's really, really good. And I think we can all admit that. And that's been like through his tenure. But when he's bad, he's really, really bad. And you can see it pretty, pretty quick. So I will agree. Some of Boone's managerial decisions have been poor. But I think his track record overall is not as bad as what people make it out to be.
No. I mean, he's got over a 600 winning percentage, 6th highest in Yankee history. So he didn't get there by accident. His first 3 seasons, he had 100 wins. That wasn't an accident. And he didn't have as talented a ball club as he has now. But, you know, the word manager, the definition is fall guy for everything that's jacked up.
Absolutely. Speaking from a previous manager, you're absolutely correct. Yeah. Or a glorified babysitter. That's what I used to call it.
I know that experience all too well, Pasty. I mean, listen, I've said it many times. Like, I don't think Boone is a great manager. I don't always agree with his decisions, and you know, I don't always agree with any manager's decisions 100% of the time. There's no way. Could he make better decisions? Of course. I just, you know, like Ken said, he didn't get to that winning. He doesn't have the winning streak or the winning percentage that he has. That didn't happen by accident. So there is something that he's doing right, but it's just but somewhere down the line, it's failing somewhere. Like, I don't know where. Is it Boone? Is it the players? I mean,
yeah.
What is it? I wish I had the answer. But,
yeah, I wish I had the crystal ball that I could figure it all out. I mean, there's another really bad take that I've been seeing in the chat the last couple weeks, and it's Cashman on the trade deadline. He had no option. He had no options to get anything better that wasn't going to cost way too much for the farm.
I mean, you look at the trade that the Padres did for Tanner Scott. Oh my God, they wrecked the upper half of their farm system for the next 4 years.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing. It's just, you know, I like Tanner Scott, and maybe the Yankees go after him in the offseason. I don't know. But
he was a rental.
Well, he's a rental. So it's just, you know, are you willing to trade Spencer Jones, Arias, Lombard for all of that?
No.
I mean,
hell no.
I'll ask everybody else in the chat. Would you do that? Would you trade those guys for
not.
a 2-month rental? I mean, and it's the same thing with Jack Flaherty. Although they said it with Jack Flaherty, his was like his medicals. But
I will tell you, at the trade deadline, the Yusei Kikuchi trade set the price for pitchers. Astros way overpaid for him, and it was on from there. I mean, Kikuchi isn't a great pitcher. If we had moved Cortez, who's about 10 times better than Kikuchi, I wonder what the hell we could have brought back.
Yeah. I don't know. I try to stay as optimistic as possible just because it's really all we have. Last year I was pretty upset on social media, and this year I've been trying to just stay more positive. You know, I think we'll be fine. Honestly, I think what Judge is going through, we've seen in the past that he'll get through it. Soto last night showed some good light. The only thing I'm really worried about is the pitching, but if you look at the Orioles pitching, their pitching isn't much better, to be honest with you.
It's not much better, but the thing is, man, it's just the pitching, especially with the bullpen, it's costing the Yankees games. That bullpen
is
there's no denying that the bullpen right now, like I said, the last 4 games they have their ERA is over 12, and it's not really attractive in my eyes.
It's not at all.
Me personally, I freaking hate the Astros, but their starting rotation is they've got a 2.61 ERA, and they are looking phenomenal. And if we lock up with them, there's big trouble brewing if our bullpen can't hold it down.
Yeah.
But even though we did kick their ass in the early part of the season.
Yeah, that sweep felt real good for sure.
Yeah.
And then
go ahead, Pacey.
Oh, sorry, I'm not trying to take the whole show.
No, you're good. You're good. I got somebody else waiting in the back, so I want to get him up, but I'm not trying to rush through anything. But yeah, go ahead.
Just the whole Dominguez is our Lord and Savior. It's baloney. Dominguez is good. We've seen that he's good, but he's not really proven in the MLB. There's that small, like, little sample size, but people saying he's the next Manley. Like, I mean, I just let the guy just be Dominguez. I think Jason said it perfectly. Just let him just be himself. Same thing with Spencer Jones. Just let him be Spencer Jones. We keep glorifying these guys, and they get all this pressure.
So you mean Volpe's not the next Jeter?
No.
Here's my, and I've said it before, and I like I said, I know I touch nerves with this one, but whatever, you know. I think Dominguez will be a contributor to this team. I think he's going to be good. I'd say he's a future, you know, he's definitely a future Yankee for years to come.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is he? But you know, he's one guy that could help. Unfortunately, I wish he could have helped the bullpen too. That would be amazing. But unfortunately, he's one guy, man. And if one guy could help, great. But you know, it's going to take multiple guys. Unfortunately, it doesn't address the bullpen issues that this team is experiencing. I still hope they call him up. I want him to get called up. I want him to get some playing time. If he is going to get called up, I'd rather see him play every day. I don't want him to see him riding the bench. Personally, I don't want him to ride the bench. I mean, he should be getting the majority of the playing time. But if he does get called up, I mean, ideally that's what I would want for anybody that gets called up. You know, I would hate for them to, you know, call a player up and then just have him ride the bench. It's like, okay, what was the point?
It's a waste of time. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. If there's no spot, then he shouldn't be called up. But I am confident that he will be called up.
Yeah,
before the postseason. I think it just makes sense.
Yep.
And the reasoning that they didn't make sense. I know a lot of people don't agree with it, but from a baseball, you know, business standpoint, it makes sense. My last take, I think Tommy would be great at closer.
Okay.
I think his changeup is gross. I think it offers a lot of swing and miss and a lot of ground balls. And then I would like Weaver as the setup guy. I think that would be great. And I think Tommy can prove himself because he has in the past.
That's a solid take. I could respect that. And Canley does do his thing. So, you know, when he's on, he's on. You know what I mean? Like there's no stopping Canley. But that's a solid take though, Pasty. I mean, I could appreciate that. But yeah, man, I've seen you in the chats. I've seen you on Jason's channel. So I do appreciate you coming on. You're always welcome back. All right.
Man, no doubt. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, dude.
Thanks,
we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
All right. See you later. All right. And I can't wait for this man to come up because he's waiting. So I saw some of his reactions. I'm like, all right, I can't wait. Let's hear what he has to say. Damien, you ready to go, bro? Let's go. All right, Damien, the floor is all yours, dude.
You saw those, huh?
Yes, I did. I absolutely saw it. I was just like, all right, I won't say nothing. I'll just wait.
Absolutely. First and foremost, good morning, Ken. Good morning, my man, Effie. Good morning, chat, everybody in the chat.
Damien.
Love to see all you guys. Man, the one thing that bothers me more than anything, and this is in all seriousness, and this goes back to Dominguez, and I get it, you know, Dominguez, you know, sample size, so on and so forth. When you have a guy in Verdugo literally walking down first base with a bat in your hand, not running out of ball, and you're choosing not to play this young kid who's going to give you 1,000%, is ridiculous to me. The Yankees are saying to themselves that Verdugo's a better option for whatever reason, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
You know, Damien,
and it's been the last month plus that we continue to see Verdugo dogging it. And the excuses are, well, you know, he cares. When he hits a ground ball, he gets so frustrated. Even when he hit the single last night, he dogged it. And that's what bothers me. That moment right there, before that single, Boone should have had him out the game. I would have had the kid, Duke Ellis, playing left field since that point on. Because there's no way possible that you have a guy who's your starting left fielder, who's struggling, dogging it. There's no accountability there. None. And to me, that's the biggest problem on this team. Because if you look at Doogie and the way he plays and the way he's been playing, that's the same way the rest of the team is playing right now, with the exception of Judge and Soto. The rest of the team plays the same way at this point. And there's no accountability.
Jazz isn't dogging it.
Not Jazz isn't. I'll give Jazz that. Jazz is new to this team, though. He just got traded. So I don't even count Jazz because Jazz is new to this team. He's been on this team a month. So you look at the rest of the team, Glaber, all positions, they're all playing similar to Doogie, that same type of style. And Boone is doing nothing about it. And whether it's Boone or whether it's Cashman or the both of them, they're not doing anything about it. The team is taking on the mentality of their manager, of their GM, and they're all dogging it with the exception of those three players that we mentioned. And Jazz is brand new to this team. He hasn't so much, like we would like to call it, Yankified yet. So that's my issue with this team at this point. And it's shown. You lose 3 series in a row. You have an entire August that you play terrible contenders, not even contenders. You can't call them contenders. And yet, where are we sitting at? The Yankees look extremely mediocre right now. They're not a mediocre team with talent, but they're playing mediocre. And they're becoming an average team. Since June, they are 500 ball club. 500. That's who they are. So can we expect anything other than what we see right now? We can't, because they're an average team. They had one good month, 21-7 in May. From that point on, I think they've been over 500 one game. The rest has been under 500 or 500. They're an average team at this point. And they got to get their heads out of the you know what. And what bothers me the most, Boone, this is your last season technically. You don't have a contract. You're a lame duck manager right now. So go out on your shield and manage the way you know you're supposed to manage. You got players dogging it, get them out. I don't care who you replace them with. Doesn't have to be Dominguez, but put somebody on that team that cares and that's gonna hustle and play with 1,000% energy on that field. Because otherwise, the rest of the team is gonna feel they can do the same thing. That's my piece.
That was quite a piece. So that's
my piece
there. But Ken, if I may ask you, your reaction.
Generally I'm very positive. My sense with Verdugo is he feels he's done. I don't believe in my heart that Verdugo is going to make the postseason roster for the Yankees, and I think he knows it too. So why bust his hump if he ain't going anywhere but into the free agent market? Dominguez will be his replacement. Eventually, Dominguez is going to be an impact player. I just don't know when that's going to be. Like I said, like Damian said, we've got a small sample size. Everyone has their hopes and dreams on this kid. It's a lot of pressure for a young 21, 22-year-old. How he reacts to it, I don't know Jason Dominguez. I can't tell you how he's going to react to being up in the majors. I mean, Yankee fans piss me off on a regular basis. Freaking Dominguez had one goddamn outing against Tariq Skubal, the prospective American League Cy Young winner.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Possibly the best pitcher in baseball. Yeah. And Yankee fans were crapping all over this kid. I was like, if you're such a damn talent, pick up a fucking bat, get in the box, and see if you can hit this guy's shit. Because he is nasty.
Oh, yeah. Anybody that did that to him was ridiculous.
I would love to see Skubal on the Yankees rotation next year. And I don't give a shit who we trade to get him. But
fair enough.
Dominguez took flack for Skubal. What happens when he comes up? I think eventually he's going to be a 30-30 guy. He's got speed. He's got power. And if you look back to the old Yankee dynasty, that's what we thrived on. That's what we built a dynasty on, was players like that. And he has, if allowed to develop, he has the chops to be that guy.
So, Ken, let me ask you, if you see, because I think that Verdugo will be on the playoff roster. I personally do. And I think it's a simple fact that if they haven't replaced him yet, I believe he will be on that roster. However, if you feel that way, and which I hope you are right, to be honest with you, then what makes the Yankees serious then? Because you continue, these games matter. Every single one matters right now. Every game from here on out, whatever games are left, 22, 23, whatever it is, they all matter. So if they all matter, and we're looking to obviously win the East, then shouldn't you play your best players? I think so.
Certainly. And I mean, honestly, my first move would be to bring Dominguez up today. Verdugo does not touch the field for the rest of the season because I'm not putting him on my postseason roster. DJ, I'm a huge DJ fan. I love him, but he hasn't earned being on the postseason roster.
Nope.
Unless Rizzo's legs are broken, he doesn't touch the field again, and he doesn't make the roster.
Even if Rizzo's legs are broken, I'm throwing Waldo at first. So I don't care how bad it is.
And Marcus Stroman, he was a great acquisition. He is not getting it done. He's not on the fucking postseason roster either.
Yeah.
I'm bringing Dominguez up. And I tell you what, I'm not sending Duke Ellis down either. That guy's speed last night was ridiculous.
Oh, it's impressive.
Oh, yeah. First major league hit, stolen base, just fantastic.
It's Gumby's cousin.
You throw him, Jazz, Birdie, and Volpe in there. You got running demons. You could run teams out of the game. That's the Diamondback formula right there.
Yes, sir.
And they're all low cost.
Yeah,
you throw Jason Dominguez in there, who's got speed. And I'll tell you what, you made a comment about teams dogging it or players dogging it. Wells ain't dogging it. And I freaking can't stand him.
Wells ain't dogging it. And again, Wells is a rookie. These rookie guys, that's the difference. You got the vets and the rookies, right? You got players like Wells, right? Who's at this point still trying to earn a starting role because no matter what, Boone just loves to throw Trevino in there. Even when they said it wasn't a platoon, it became a platoon up until this last few games where Wells started 4 in a row. So, it's the young guys and it's the vets. And you got the vets like Doogie, who it infuriated me yesterday watching a 10-2 game and you're literally walking down the line with your bat, not sprinting, hardly jogging. And you would have thought maybe he pulled a hammy. And then he did it a few more times in that game. Even on, again, the single he hit, he dogged it down first base. And meanwhile, we're fighting for our lives here when it comes to positioning. The Chicago White Sox beat the Orioles yesterday. You thought that maybe that would wake these guys up. No, they all played like lackluster, like the world doesn't matter, and like they just expect to win. And we all say they expect to win, they don't play to win. And it's infuriating at this point. I was infuriated last night. The 9th inning was great, but where was that energy for the first 8 innings? Nowhere at all. And if guys are not playing, I don't care who you are, vet, rookie, don't matter. If you're not playing with that type of energy, that type of passion, then Boone, bench him, get the other guys in, whether you win or lose that game. Get the guys in, hold them accountable. There's no accountability on this squad.
Well,
that's what infuriates me.
It doesn't matter because with those guys in, we're still losing. So
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. So at that point, you take them out. We're gonna lose anyway, right? So you might as well get guys who are gonna play 1,000%.
Yeah. So real quick, I got one other person waiting, but I just wanted to give this take because I'm gonna wrap it up here in the next few minutes.
Yeah, I gotta go anyway, so you're good, man.
I wanna get my guy up because I know he came up, so I wanna make sure I get his take. I see you, VR. You're good, but bro, like, listen, I want Dominguez up here, right? He's one guy. He could definitely contribute to the lineup.
Yeah.
My biggest concern right now is this bullpen, right?
Oh yeah.
I think the bats, they can come around, but the bullpen is the main concern. Unfortunately, if the Yankees with or not with Verdugo, with Dominguez or without Dominguez, yeah, the bats could do their jobs. They can get the job done, sure. But if the bullpen is not helping,
I agree.
It doesn't matter who's in the freaking lineup.
It doesn't.
I mean? It doesn't matter who's in the lineup. I'm not excusing Verdugo or anything, right? That was piss poor, right? It sucks because I actually like Verdugo. I was happy when they traded for him.
So was I.
You know, I think he's been solid in the left field. There's no denying that. I think he's been solid in left field. I liked him in left field. He's been great since Brett Gardner, because after Brett Gardner, they had garbage for left fielders.
Went through 14 of them. It's
yeah. So
14.
Yeah, listen, I want to see Dominguez up here. My only thing is just like I've never seen so much pressure on a prospect like Dominguez. Like there is high expectations on this guy. I want things to really work out for him. I really do.
Of course.
I really do. But they got to stop with the Mickey Mantle comparisons like that. That's just
crazy. Yeah. No, they do that so often.
Yeah. So stop comparing him to Mickey Mantle. Stop comparing Volpe to Jeter. Stop comparing, so-and-so to whoever. Just let these guys be their own players.
Let them be the first of whoever they are. Will it be the first Volpe, the first Dominguez? Let them be the first, whoever that last name is, let them be the first people they are.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Patrick, Dominguez may not care about pressure, but, it's just there's still a lot of pressure, though. There's still a lot of pressure. I don't care. Like, there's a lot of expectation. When there's expectations on a player, you're expected to perform from day one. And if there's no overnight results, then it's just like, this guy's a bust. And I don't think Dominguez is going to be that guy, but I'm not expecting anything to happen overnight either. Got to give this guy time. I'm going to give him time, even with a small sample size.
Of course.
It's not even about the rookie. It's not even about rookie of the year or nothing like that. I don't care about that. I don't care if the Yankees players don't get rookie of the year. I want World Series at the end. I mean, that's what's going to be talked about the most.
That's what it's all about.
So that's my take on it, Damian. Bro, Brother, I always appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I gotta get out of here, get ready for the other show. But fellas, Ken, NFE, the chat, everybody have a great day. I'll see y'all later.
All right. Thanks a lot, Damian. We'll see you soon, bro. All right. We got one more person waiting in the back. I'm going to bring him up. We'll wrap it up here in a few minutes. And he's giving me the thumbs up. And it is his first time on the channel, first time on the show. And I know him from Jigga's show, the Positivity Porto show. Bringing you up, VR. What is going on, man?
Absolutely. I just wanted to come up and support you, NFE, support you, Ken, and the Strike Zone.
Thank you.
I want to say salute to the chat. You guys have a great show. I've been listening this whole time. Unfortunately, I had to drop off before because I'm at work and they actually expect me to work around here. So
what's work?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I really got to work here? Yeah, I mean, the Yankees, for me, my grandfather used to take me to Yankees games as a kid. And that was, right away my connection to the Yankees, old Yankee Stadium. And this was back in the 70s in the heyday when they were good back then and winning those championships back then. I'm talking about Willie Randolph and Mickey Rivers and, of that Goose Gossage and that ilk, and then, growing with them in my adulthood through the 90s and watching and cheering and, being the biggest Derek Jeter fan and Mariano Rivera. And I think, on that note, one of the biggest problems that I see with this current team as currently constructed has to do with Clay Holmes and our bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
And, as a Yankee fan, we've been kind of like catered to. We've been spoiled with really, really good bullpen play. From Mariano all the way through. And it's just recently that, we've been having issues with the bullpen, and that is a really, maybe not for the regular season, but for the playoff season. If you don't have your bullpen in order, if you don't have a closer that you can rely on that doesn't blow saves, that is going to be a big issue. I don't know if it's mental with Clay Holmes or it's just the positions that he's been put in, but it has to resolve itself, or the Yankees are not going to survive the postseason. They're going to make the postseason, but they're not going to survive the postseason because you can't legitimately, consistently try to outscore your team, the other team, in the playoffs. It just doesn't work like that. Most important things are pitching and your bullpen. And we, unfortunately have been struggling and inconsistent in both. Now, I hear that, Boone is possibly trying to do a closer by committee situation for future reference. At least that's what he said in the media. But who do we have that can, take the role and take the reins? Jake Cousins, Luke Weaver.
Yeah, and VR, you touched on a couple of important points, and that was the question that I was asking, because there's really nobody in the bullpen that I personally trust to close out the games. Like, my initial answer was maybe you could say Cousins because he's got some strikeout stuff, but even he's a question mark. Canley's a question mark. Luke Weaver's a question mark, because when you put somebody in that closer role, that adds a different kind of pressure. It really does. It's not as simple as, all right, I'm just going to go out and, get these 3 outs. No, right. There's, not everybody's Mo. Not everybody's Mo. There's not going to be another Mariano Rivera. I'm sorry, but there isn't. Mariano is Mariano. Now, you mentioned something about the bullpen and the starting pitching, right? This is extremely important for the postseason, no doubt. And this is where, I try to let people know it's not, about the whole Dominguez thing. Listen, I want Dominguez up here too. I want him playing too, but does he address the bullpen and the pitching? He doesn't. No. Yeah, he could be a contributor to this lineup. Absolutely. But when it comes to the bullpen and the pitching, that is so key in the playoffs. And if that is not unlocked, like you said, right, this team absolutely, or any team, it doesn't matter. It's not just the Yankees. Every team collapses without good pitching. So absolutely. That pitching needs to be solidified. So yeah, you could absolutely have, Dominguez up here. Yeah, he could be a contributor to this team. Absolutely. But does he contribute anywhere in the pitching? He doesn't. But, and that's where, last season, the Texas Rangers, they had excellent pitching. That's why they won. They have good bats too. Don't get me wrong, but that pitching was stellar. They had great pitching on that team. So yeah, you hit a couple of important points, and I'm glad you did. And I think Ken, I know you probably were listening on the conversation there, Ken. But,
yes, I was.
Okay, so we'll go on like a few more minutes because I will have to wrap it up, but. Yeah, VR, you're absolutely right. And this is something that a lot of fans are not, they're acknowledging that the bullpen's bad, but, and they've been kind of on this Jason Dominguez thing, bringing him up. And again, I get it, but it doesn't address the issues with the pitching, particularly with the bullpen. So that needs to be addressed. Is it going to be addressed? I don't especially with some of the reinforcements coming back. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. We do have some reinforcements coming up with Lewis Gill coming back from injury and Clark Schmidt. And, the question is, what is Boone going to do with those reinforcements? Now, Gill was a front end starter when he was starting at the beginning of the year, in replacement of, the Garrett Cole. So, do you take a talent like that and put him as a reinforcement, as a long reliever, as a spot starter, that kind of thing? Clark Schmidt, the same thing. They have the opportunity to be possibly front end starters. And if Rondon, Cortez, Stroman, they've all been struggling too. So that's a big question, and this is really going to test Aaron Boone's legitimacy as as someone who can figure out these issues going into the postseason moving forward. So, not a big fan of Boone.
I understand.
And I do agree with you guys that at the end of the season, he gets sorted out, whatever happens. I'm not the type of person that's into in-season firings or anything like that. So we ride it out with Boone to whatever happens at the end of the season. But that's going to get sorted out. This is going to test his mettle to see what kind of manager he is.
For sure. Absolutely. And those are solid points, man. You make some solid points. I appreciate that. Thank you from looking at it from all angles, because there's always different sides to this team. So it's not just one-sided. So I do appreciate that, VR. Ken, let me get your thoughts real quick, and then VR, I'll get your closing statements, and then we'll wrap it up.
Well, at this point, I don't know. I guess he disappeared.
I got to step away for just a second, but I'm listening.
No,
okay. I don't know that we're any better than a 500 baseball club. We haven't played like it. Starting rotation has been up and down. We have spurts of greatness, but we go through these bad streaks where starters can't get out of the first or second inning. The bullpen is completely garbage. There is little to no hope of salvaging those guys this season. And come next year, there are going to be at least 9 to 10 players that are on the roster now that won't be here next season. Hopefully Juan Soto is one that is here, but God only knows about that one. The bats are coming around. Even though Judge and Soto haven't been performing, we've been putting runs up. Been playing more small ball. I think a bigger part of the future is going to be getting those guys that can steal the bases, getting the team a little bit younger. But it's not over till it's over. So we could get hot and go on a run. It could take us straight to the series like the Diamondbacks did last year. They were 85 and 78 and made it all the way to the series, and they got hot the last couple of weeks of the season that put them in the playoffs even.
No doubt.
Yeah, I think we've been through some struggles the past couple of games, but I mean, just like last week, we were the leading team in Major League Baseball with our record. So I mean, like, I don't think we're that far removed, and I think we're going to make the playoffs probably as a wild card at this point if we keep going the way that we're going. But I think a couple of key things happen, and I think that they're going to translate into some good baseball moving forward with the Yankees. The first is Jazz Chisholm. I'm a big fan of that trade. Love, he got hurt a little bit. I think that affected us a little bit. Now he's back. He's going to get back into the rotation. He's going to be great. I think, as a catalyst, he is that player that is going to spark us. But I think an underrated player coming back is Rizzo, Anthony Rizzo. And a lot of people were like, okay, Anthony Rizzo is washed, but it's not just like what he's doing in terms of offensively. It's what he brings to the team in regards to being a clubhouse, favorite, someone that is going to rally the troops in there and bring smiles and joke around and really bring some levity to the clubhouse. I think he does that, and him being apart from the team for as long as he was probably, I think he's a force multiplier in the clubhouse for that team and the people in the team to rely on as somebody who's been through the wars, who's won a championship before with the Cubs. And, his experience is going to help this team moving forward as well. So I have optimism for our Yankees. That's how I'll close it out.
Cool. No, I dig it, man. I love it. But there's hope for this team. There is. I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. We'll see what happens when they get into the postseason. I think the big thing right now with this team, their main thing is the bullpen. That it's their bullpen, and I with some of their reinforcements hopefully coming back, is it going to help? One would hope, but we'll see. But all we could do is that that the rest of this month, the rest of the season, they need to start. Not start, but they can't afford to lose any more series. That's it. Bottom line, they got to start winning series, or they got to start getting series wins. So this isn't the time, and it's not the time to be lackadaisical. You got to go out, go and get the results and play, man. Got to make it happen. So, but and then let me get just a quick take on the Cubs prediction. What do you think? Do you think they take the series, or you think 1 out of 3, or what do we got real quick?
Well, the way that we've been going, we have to win. And I think that it's going to be close. It's going to be, these are one of those like fanfare games that like it's kind of the MLB puts together for the national audience type thing, Field of Dreams kind of stuff or whatever. But I think we need to do good. We need to bounce back. Hopefully we can win. Different division gives us a different like kind of feel, a different aura of the game. And so I hope hopefully we can win just based off of just being in a different environment, a different team coming in, as opposed to the same ones that, in our division, in our in the AL side of things. So it'll be different, but I think that difference may breed how we approach this team moving forward to win some games. So hopefully we can win 2 out of 3.
Awesome. All right, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm sure that's what most folks are hoping for. Hopefully, so
if we can sweep, I'll take it.
Oh, absolutely, of course, man, of course. But VR, appreciate you coming on, man. You're solid. I've seen you in Jigga's chats, so I know who you are. It's always nice to see you in there. But you're always welcome on the open panel. So whenever you want to come back on, please come back on, man. Love your takes.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. Great show. Always support. Absolutely. New York Yankees, my hometown team. I love them to death. So any show that, supports my Yankees, and then obviously NFE Ken, great stuff, great commentary. Look forward to being on in the future.
Absolutely,
man.
Sir. Absolutely. Thank you to you. See you later, bro. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here. I'm going to wrap it up. I went a little bit over than what I wanted to, but that's okay. It was a good conversation. Shout out to VR for coming on. That was, solid takes. But everybody that came on gave some solid takes. So thank you all for coming on. But folks, I appreciate everybody coming on. Ken, thanks for coming on. Folks in the chat, love your comments, love the interaction. Thank you all for tuning in, as you always do. I appreciate everybody's thoughts and opinions, right? You're all allowed to be fans the way you want to be fans. I can't tell you how to be a fan. All right, you fan the way you want to fan. But just so everybody knows, no pregame today because the Yankees are off. The next 3 games are all 2:20. They're all at 2:20. So just so everybody knows, I am not doing a pregame tomorrow or a play-by-play tomorrow, so there won't be any shows tomorrow just because of the time, and I have some stuff going on tomorrow, and Friday's usually a busy day. I am going to try and do a play-by-play on Saturday and Sunday for sure. I'm going to try and do play-by-plays on over the weekend, but we'll see about pre-gaming and all that. We'll see about morning shows. I'll just hit that notification bell. But folks in the chat, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming on the open panel. Thank you for your support for the Strike Zone. Make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this channel out with everyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Love to get there by the time the season's done. Again, appreciate everybody in the chat. You all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Let's go Yankees.